guys, it's your boy Rick here, back with another unbiased review. This time we're going to do the world famous Congo Room. The Congo Room is probably the longest running reggaeton and Latin club in all of Los Angeles. I remember being a kid and them talking about it on the radio and stuff like that, so it's definitely been around. So with that said, let's get started with the review. Here we go. Alright guys, for the club fairness, this legendary club gets a full point. It's $20 all night from what I remember. No price gouging for the most part. There's no line holding. You just pay your cover. I do believe they offer free admission at a certain point, but it's like early, like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. I believe, if you're there by that time. Full point for fairness. The club security gets a half a point. They do their job. They pat you down. They keep you safe. They even have metal detectors, but they can be extremely strict in my opinion. And though these are obviously not their rules, but the club does have very strict dress codes. And in my opinion, though, I do feel that sometimes they can be a little extra with those codes and not let the slightest thing slide. Also, this club does that dreaded, hated velvet rope rule, in which there's a velvet rope in between the club, in the middle of the club there, separating both dance floors, and they do not let you pass that line for 1 second to save your life. You can see said velvet rope here, and like I said, they're very strict about it. So anyways, half a point for security. The club bar also gets a half a point in my opinion. They have pretty inconsistent drinks here, meaning every bartender makes a certain drink differently than the other. And in my opinion, every time I had a beer here, the pipes just tasted very dirty to me. The beer tasted very off, like it was dirty or sour or rotten in my opinion. And every time I complained, the bartenders would get mad and not want to give me another one, or even say, I'm only going to give it to you once. That whole experience was very unpleasant, and this happened before COVID-19 started, and the beers were still tasting a bit off to me when I was there early this year. So the drinks are fairly priced, so not expensive, so half a point for bar. Let me start off by reiterating that me and the homies were here at least once a month right before COVID. We used to enjoy this vibe so much. I believe that the vibe has changed significantly once they started promoting on the radio. I believe it brought different crowds that were not as, let's say, friendly or good vibes in my opinion. So for that, I'm gonna have to give it a 0. Passing through the crowd, if you're passing through a girl, they usually get mad or think you're hitting on them, even if you're truly not, and they get very defensive, and you just feel those bad vibes in my opinion. Another thing we've noticed post-COVID, and this is most recent footage, it's low in there. It's not as packed as it once was. In my opinion, the place just kind of died out. It just doesn't get as packed as it once did. The vibe just kind of died. I think it just did not recover post-COVID. So in my opinion, 0 for the vibe. Sorry guys. You do feel safe in there. Like I said, security does their job there. There's a lot of them, so you will be safe, and they do have metal detectors like I mentioned. They pat you down. It's just a safe environment. Full point for club safety. For the music, they get a full point. They deliver what they promised. Latin vibes, reggaeton, bachata, hip-hop. It's a good vibe in there with the music. Full point for music. In my opinion, the crowd attractiveness of the people has really gone downhill since it became a radio promoted club, in my opinion. I do feel that people look a little more like me, in my opinion, or worse, before you point that out. There can be some good looking ladies and fellas, but they're very few in between, in my opinion. 0 for crowd attractiveness, in my opinion. Now for the ratio, I also have to give it a 0. In my opinion, there's a lot more guys in here than there are ladies. The only thing I will say that when there's a Latin or reggaeton concert at the Staples Center or any of the venues around there, everybody comes here, so that's when it's good. And it's mostly Latino, Hispanic crowd, Mexican, Salvadorian, maybe a few African American people, Caucasian, late 20s to late 40s crowd. 0 for ratio when it comes to man to women ratio, in my opinion. For networking, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it another 0. I truly do think your chances of meeting someone here if you're a guy are not gonna be that good. Used to have a homie, the homie Juan was here every week, and he had a great track record, and since COVID he hasn't been here much because he saw how it changed. You see guys get rejected left and right while approaching ladies. I believe it's because there's a lot of couples too, and again, the ratio is not that good. It's not in favor of meeting ladies here. Ladies, of course, you always have your pick, but with that ratio, ladies, I do believe you will be over approached here. Maybe that's why they're so defensive as you pass through them. In my opinion, of course, 0 for networking, in my opinion. The location is gonna get a half a point, in my opinion. The location is tricky because you can't really club hop around. There is no bars where you can really bar hop around. It's safe otherwise, and you can mingle outside, which is always fun. And like I said, there are any concerts at the venues around, any Latin or reggaeton or even hip-hop concerts, there will be a nice crowd, a nice packed house inside. The club itself inside, it's nice, it's roomy, it's spacious. It's definitely well taken care of, and like I said, it's one of the most popular ones we've ever had in LA. So far, it's definitely stood the test of time, the last 20, 30 years, whatever it's been. Half a point for location. Well, obviously, these are just my opinions. I highly recommend if you're a tourist or trying this out for the first time to definitely check it out at some point. Well, guys, if you've been keeping track, the club did score a 4.5 out of 10 in my opinion. An unfortunate score because, like I said, this club is kind of legendary. I've been there so many times. You should have some of the best times ever there. But in my opinion, it just never recovered post-COVID. People just haven't gone back there, or I don't know what the case is, to be honest. Maybe we got older, etc. Like the crowd and the newer people haven't come in my opinion. But hey, hopefully they make it back because, like I said, this is a historic club. It's been around for so long, and hopefully they make it. It returns to being as packed as it once was, in my opinion, not just on concert dates. I do definitely recommend checking it out at some point if you want good music and, just somewhere to dance. Definitely good vibes in there in that regard. Definitely check it out if you're a tourist and you like Latin clubs just because of its history here in LA. Thank you guys for checking out the review. Next one coming soon.